Alright, weekend's up. And as you saw yesterday, I made another trip to the movies, and since my question in the comments of that video who got the responses, I will let you know the day I go to see each of these movies on my way. But that doesn't mean I didn't get any movies in here on streaming. So, that being said, let's get into them. Alright, Mandalorian and Grogu was what I saw in theaters, for those that were curious. And I'm gonna be honest, anyone that doesn't like this movie, okay, I can understand why, but to say it's one of the worst is probably being a little disingenuous, because this movie was literally just fun. It was fun. It was not trying to be a part of the damn Skywalker saga, which I'm freaking tired of. But still, this was basically an extended episode of The Mandalorian, and that worked in its favor. Honestly, Mando and Grogu were so well together, and there was a moment where Grogu had to take up the focus role, while honestly the action was good, the investigation aspect was solid. It was a fun movie. I wouldn't say it's the best Star Wars movie. Rogue One still claims that spot for me. But as a project that doesn't have too many genuine connections to the mainline franchise, it's good. And I highly recommend you check it out in theaters. Although, fun fact, power did cut out in our theater for like 10 minutes. So we had to wait a little bit to get back to it. But other than that, yeah, good movie. 7.5 out of 10. Go check it out. I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect GOAT to be as great as it was. It's not the GOAT of Sony Pictures Animation. Honestly, I wouldn't even say it's one of the top 4. But story of a GOAT trying to prove his worth in the basketball stand-in Rollerball was a great story about overcoming in adversity. Honestly, Will, the main character, was such a well-written lead that it genuinely felt like he was inspiring people to try and do what he does. Main attraction, the villain, probably going to go down as one of the most underrated animated villains of the century. And as for Jet, the leader of the team, I think she might be my favorite character in the movie. The rollerball scenes were truly remarkable, while the scenes that focused on the characters were very poignant. Again, it's not perfect. I probably would have it tied for 5th with Surf's Up for Sony Animated Films. Fight me. That movie is underrated as fuck. But I would argue GOAT deserves its status as a goated movie. 8 out of 10. Real quick, I'm gonna get this out the way. I watched this show today, 12 episodes. Fucking incredible anime. I loved it. It is on Crunchyroll. Go watch it. Alright, so I'm sure you've seen Apex on reviews on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I've seen some reviews refer to this as a frustratingly repetitive movie. Anyone hoping that they were wrong, I'm sad to say they're not at all. The first 30 minutes are really solid. Spoilers, but Charlize Theron's character is climbing a Arctic mountain, or a mountain with Eric Bana in the opening scene. Very tense, very stressful, very much triggered my fear of heights. And then when we cut to her in Australia, the moments we see her just getting accustomed to preparing to kayak in there, really well paced part. And the first time she falls into the river she's kayaking after her attack is really tense. It completely falls apart after that. This movie sees Theron's character fall into the water 3 separate times. Or fall over a waterfall type thing 3 times. And it doesn't get better. It is the same old beats of Taron Egerton, who is not convincing as an Australian, hunting or torturing Theron, and then one of them falls. Honestly, Theron gives a good performance, but her character is so underwritten that it makes it difficult to root for her. And Egerton just doesn't work as a villain. I don't know. Is it worse than Balls Up? Not by a long shot. Not by a fucking mile. Is it worth watching or worth recommending? Definitely not. 4 out of 10. Alright, so that's my reviews. I have about a minute left into this. But again, thank you for watching. Thank you for interacting with my videos. If you really like my content, help me get to 100 subscribers at least by the end of the year. Help me get to like 50 by the end of June. And if you see any video that I make, expect a comment with this end thing, because I enjoy making these videos. I enjoy seeing that at least a few people give a shit about my reviews. And yeah, that's it for this week. Deadly Destruct, signing off.